Happy New Year, everyone! It's a new superhero deep dive. It's a new year. Not really new me, but if that's your thing, cool, go for it. Welcome. I am your host, Jason, as always, and I have a pretty good show for you today. So let me get my disclaimers out. I'll get through this, and I do want to give a quick shout out to a fan that I've had named Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. It was great seeing you over the holiday weekend or holiday season, and I can't wait to chat with you more. Anyway, the information is pulled from different sources across the internet and may or may not be completely complete, but they do give a really good insight on the current superhero. Also, you can catch me via email if you ever want on B4 it all, so B4 it all at yahoo.com. You can catch me every Tuesday and Thursday throughout the day on Outworld Fleet Radio. Their website is www.un-conventional.com/radio. You can catch me on Twitter and Instagram under Super Deep Dive, and I do use the hashtag Superhero Deep Dive. And you can catch me on YouTube, where I have videos posting. Gosh, lately it's been all the time under Superhero Deep Dive. And yeah, I would really appreciate it if you did find me on YouTube and like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Share the channel, help me grow. If I can get 500 subscribers, I'll do a giveaway, and yeah, and I'll be doing more after that. So I think that's it for that. Gave a shout out to Jennifer. Jennifer is actually a family friend that I hadn't seen in a while. So she said she ran across my channel and gave me a listen. So I wanted to say thank you. Anyway, this week I'm going to be talking about Cannonball. Cannonball is awesome because he is an everyman in the best sense of the word. He's amazing. His real name is Samuel Zachary Guthrie, and Sam was born in Cumberland, Kentucky. As a young boy, he attempted to help out his family by working in a coal mine, which his father had worked before he died. One day, Sam finds himself trapped in a collapsing mine shaft, and while trying to rescue his fellow worker, Mr. Lewis, from the collapsing mine shaft, his mutant ability unconsciously manifests and saves the two of them. Sam is soon hired by Donald Pierce of the Hellfire Club to help attack the New Mutants, and when Pierce orders Sam to kill the defeated New Mutants, Sam rebels against him, and Charles Xavier asks Sam to join him in the New Mutants, which he does so under the name Cannonball. As part of the New Mutants, Cannonball becomes close friends with his teammate Sunspot, and he also develops a brotherly affection for Renee, unaware for some time that she actually had romantic feelings for him. Cannonball and Danielle Moonstar act as the team's co-leader. He also supervises other teammates including Magic, Karma, Cypher, Magma, and Warlock. Now, some of those names sound familiar. We have actually covered Magic in the superhero deep dive, and we've touched on some of the others. Now, Cannonball helps lead the team through many adventures across time and space, from ancient Scotland to other galaxies. During one of his adventures, he meets the mutant rock musician Leela Cheney, who he begins a romantic relationship with. The Beyonder. He comes in, encounters the New Mutants, and kills them. He resurrects them soon after, but this trauma leaves the team deeply shaken, and they go with the villainous Emma Frost to her Massachusetts academy to join the Hellions. They soon come to their senses, however. And they did this because it was just they're like, wow, is this what we're being exposed to as X-Men? And they kind of freaked out. But then they realized that the Massachusetts Academy and the Hellfire Club and the Hellions, they were not great people, so, that's when they came to their senses. Now, Wolfsbane, Warlock, Richter, and Tabitha are kidnapped from the grounds of the X-Mansion by Genosian forces under the control of Cameron Hodge. Now, I believe Tabitha is also known as Boomer or Boom Boom. I've wanted to do a deep dive on her, but she is actually in comics currently in a storyline, so I have to hold off. But she's awesome because she is from Roanoke, Virginia, where I currently live. So she is kind of like our hometown hero that no one knows about. But anyway, they're kidnapped from the grounds of the X-Mansion by Genosian forces under the control of Cameron Hodge. Warlock is murdered by Hodge in an attempt to get his powers. Sam then joins the X-Men on a rescue mission, and Genosha's government is toppled. Renee stays behind to help the fellow victims of Genosha's regime. Cannonball and the other New Mutants leave the X-Men's supervision and join forces with Cable to become the hard-edged X-Force. He is then appointed the team's second-in-command and field leader. Cannonball is impaled and killed during a clash with the Brotherhood of Mutants, but heals only a few minutes later. Cable reveals himself to be from a dystopian future ruled by Apocalypse, and explains that he believes Cannonball to be an external, which is a rare type of mutant who is virtually immortal. Many other externals such as Saul and Gideon also come to believe Sam is one of them, and it is around this time that Sam's sister Paige, who is Husk, who we've also done a deep dive on, is revealed to have mutant powers. So, out of Sam's family, I don't know how many brothers and sisters I have off the top of my head, but I know that there are at least two, and two of them, out of those two, they're both mutants as well. We already came across Husk. I think there's another one that had wings that had recently, or that had been killed, named Icarus. So there's 3, and I want to say there are 5 children total, but I'm not sure. Now, Sam's time in X-Force is not easy, and because he's considered out of line by the X-Men, and X-Force are considered outright criminals by S.H.I.E.L.D. This devolves into a fight between a S.H.I.E.L.D. team led by Nick Fury, and later, things get resolved as in the comic world. Any rivalries are put aside as Sam is instrumental to helping other X-Men, particularly Forge and Wolfsbane, defeat the Phalanx. Now, Sam later joins the X-Men, and initially he's excited, but then he begins to doubt his abilities because the X-Men are kind of like the major leagues. He faces these insecurities, though, when he battles the Shi'ar Gladiator to a standstill. And Gladiator is kind of like their version of Superman. Like, the only downfall that Gladiator has is his strength is directly proportionate to his self-confidence. But if, you're Superman, you're gonna have a lot of self-confidence already. Anyway, Cannonball finds his relationship with Tabitha strained, which, they did have a relationship during X-Force, and she turns to Sam's best friend Sunspot for support. Sam leaves the X-Men to help his ailing mother, and during this time with the X-Men, he also infiltrates the presidential campaign of anti-mutant candidate Graydon Creed, using the alias Samson Guthrie. Despite the rather transparent alias, Sam is able to remain undetected until Creed is assassinated on the eve of the election. After that, Cannonball rejoins X-Force, now operating in San Francisco, and becomes team leader after Siren is injured. Cable has left, but the team find a new mentor in Pete Wisdom, who introduces the team to the world of espionage. Sam and Tabitha end up getting back together, and after Wisdom's alleged death, Cannonball leads the team again and attempts to continue Wisdom's crusade. Eventually, Sam and the other members of X-Force have to fake their deaths. Now, Storm asks Cannonball to join her Extreme X-Men, which is a group of X-Men operating outside of Professor X's leadership. The team later rejoins the Central X-Men team, and Sam is injured on a mission and once again decided to take a break for some peace. He uses this time to work on his own farm, which he had bought with his X-Corporation paychecks. Everything has an X with him. He is just that guy. He is a team player. Now, while on the farm, Sam found himself teaming up again with Cable and reformed X-Force again against the threat of the Scorn. Sam has once more joined the active roster of the X-Men, which, of course, he would, whose team is co-led by Nightcrawler and Bishop. For a while, he watches over the younger, more carefree students at the X-Mansion, and he also functions as a member of the Extreme Sanctions Executive, which is XSE. He has already participated in helping the 198 and fighting the Shi'ar Death Commandos. He soon suffers the death of his brother Jay, who is killed by William Stryker. And this is the first part of the first Forsaken story arc, where Cannonball went with the X-Men to Central Park, and they fought the Forsaken, who then captured the X-Men and sent them elsewhere. After escaping, Cannonball accompanies the X-Men to Africa to help Storm against mutant refugees. Or to help Storm assist mutant refugees, not against them. So, he's got two siblings, one of which was killed, but he's got two siblings that have become mutants. I think there are more, but I may not be right. Cannonball serves on Rogue's team of X-Men, and after the team fights the Hecatome, and Rogue suffers a severe mental injury, the team decide to rest in Rogue's childhood home. But they are then attacked by the Marauders, who are on a mission to retrieve Destiny's diaries. Emma Frost, who at the time was trying to help Rogue, she's disabled by a neurotoxin, but uploads everything she got from the edges of the Marauders' psi shielding into Sam's mind and takes limited possession over his body. Sam then goes to the Blackbird. The two are engaged in mid-air by Sunfire, who cripples the jet, and Cannonball manages to escape and battle Shiro, who is Sunfire, who reveals that he killed Cable. Cannonball shakes it off, explaining that it wouldn't matter who told me that, I'd still be saying, show me the body. Now, Cannonball and Iceman attempt to recover the Destiny diaries, which are hidden in a dilapidated brewery. The Marauders attack them, and Sam is seriously injured. Beast attends to his injury and evaluates his condition, and notes that Sam's brain scan indicates sluggish and non-continuous activity, but the young mutant quickly recovers and is capable of taking part in the final fight against the Marauders. So he is all about, just healing, getting back in the fight. And it seems like that's kind of his constant motive right there. Like, just get back in the fight. Get back, be back part of the team. Like, just get back in there. Now, after Cyclops disbands the X-Men, Cannonball goes home, and his sister Paige, who is Husk, picks him up at the airport. Extremely happy to have him back, but Sam is kind of moody and withdrawn at this point, and she confronts him about his mood, and he angrily blasts off into the sky, saying he should have never come home. Sam is soon called by Cyclops, informing him that the X-Men are reforming in San Francisco, and he agrees to join the new team, because he's got to be part of that team. Like, this is kind of an ongoing psychological thing with Cannonball. He's got to be part of the X-Men team. It's almost like they can all be jumping into like the depths of hell, and he's like, I've got to be part of this. If they want me, I'm there. He's so devoted to it. Now, Cannonball arrives in San Francisco as Magneto is attacking the city with a group of antique sentinels. Cannonball managed to plow into Magneto, disarming his artificial magnetism suit and giving the X-Men the upper hand in the battle. However, Magneto still manages to escape. He is later seen at a bar with Karma and Danny Moonstar, where he reveals himself to be disillusioned by the idea of changing the world, and instead is content with making sure no one else dies the way his brother Jay did. At this point, he is called upon to help deal with Empath. Now, after receiving an anonymous tip in Colorado about a young mutant endangering a small town, Danny and Shen are sent to investigate and calm the locals. During their mission, Magic reappears back at the X-Men base in San Francisco after teleporting off into the future after the events of the X-Furnace. Or X-Infernus, I'm sorry. During her return, she informs Sam and Roberto that Sunspot, that Shan and Danny are in trouble and it will result in their deaths. Cannonball, Sunspot, Magic, and Magma go to find them and eventually find an unconscious Shan and are tricked into freeing Legion. Now, Legion is awesome. I should do a deep dive on him soon. In fact, I'm going to add it to my list. He is the son of Charles Xavier. Super powerful with multiple personalities. So, he is awesome. Very interesting to talk about. Now, the personalities in Legion's mind, which he has multiple of, want to kill Danny because she can help Legion get them under control. Legion locates Danny in a jail cell and is about to kill her when Sam stops him. Which, if you need to, we did do a deep dive on Danny Moonstar. I encourage you to check it out because she is awesome. But Danny tells Sam to let her out, but Sam refuses, saying she'll be safer in the cell since she does not have her powers anymore. Sam and Sunspot go off to fight Legion, leaving Danny behind. Now, unbeknownst to them, one of Legion's personality has the ability to project himself and is stalling them while he prepares to kill Danny, only to be stopped by magic and magma. They free Danny as Legion retreats, and Sam apologizes but get punched in the face by an angry Danny Moonstar. When asked where she's going, Danny replies, "To make myself useful," and she returns brandishing numerous firearms and tells the others that they're going after Legion. However, Sam tells Danny to go. She is not a mutant anymore, and to stop pretending that she is because one of the most powerful mutants on Earth wants her dead. Danny, upset, gets into a van and drives away, only return back minutes later after Sam and the rest of the New Mutants are badly beaten. After Legion is caught, Sam tries to apologize, but Danny limps away, ignoring him. Sam confesses to Cyclops he feels as if he is messed up, but Cyclops congratulates him on keeping everyone alive and saying that's all that matters. Now, in the, we don't have too much more history, but he's like parts of everything. In the aftermath of Utopia, Scott reveals to Danny that Sam did not pick her for his team, making her very upset and angry. The two then come to a fight and then come to an understanding, and Sam allows Danny on the team. Later, after a conversation about Sam's past romantic affiliations with Lena Chaney, Sam and Danielle share a kiss for comparative purposes, and it's funny that was put in there, for comparative purposes, that is interrupted by the team. You know, Cannonball's got to get his thing on, right? He's got to do what he's got to do. Anyways, that's stupid. I'm sorry. If I was better at audio editing, I'd cut that out, but I'm not, so it's staying in. Anyways, Wolverine hires Cannonball to work at his new school. Cannonball teaches a course in flying, and those who have no natural flying abilities use jetpacks. Samuel takes time to check in with his sister Husk, who works for the school full-time and is worried about her mental state. Now, as part of the Marvel Now event, Cannonball becomes a member of the Avengers along with Sunspot. He is seen 8 months into the future, living on an alien planet in the Shi'ar Empire with Izzy Kane and their child. Cannonball becomes a member of the US Avengers. Their first mission takes place at the Secret Empire's floating volcanic island base. They are later approached by a future version of Danielle Cage as Captain America, who tells them that their nemesis, the Golden Skull, has come to their timeline to steal all the wealth in the world. That's so basic. That's so stupid. Anyway, the team defeats and captures the Golden Skull, and Danielle takes them back to her timeline. During the opening salvo part of the Secret Empire storyline, Cannonball decides to quit the team so that he can live with his wife and son. Now, during the event, he returns to Earth only to discover that Alpha Flight space program, the Guardians of the Galaxy, and the Ultimates battle against the Chitauri. He joins the heroes in battle, but is presumed dead when the Chitauri dragon eats Quasar and explodes. An alien finds him, and he is later sold at an auction on an alien planet to a mysterious human named Howard Mason, who brings him to an Earth-like small town on an alien planet. Cannonball's wife meets with Sunspot and tells him that Cannonball is alive on another planet. And while the team travels through space, Cannonball is introduced to the townspeople by Richie Redwood, ruler of the planet, and upon discovering the people's troublesome behavior, tries to escape only to be defeated and captured. Awakening in a dungeon, Cannonball meets other prisoners, including a team named Bugface. Bugface. That's like Taserface. Like, he couldn't think of a better name. Anyway, Cannonball stages a prison break, and they head out to overthrow Richie, which is Richie Redwood. During the fight, Smasher and the US Avengers arrive to help, and after Richie and his army are sent to prison, the heroes head back home. Boom, boom, boom. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think of Cannonball? Like I said, he's been in everything, right? Like, he's just got to be a part. If it's X-Men related, he's got to be a part of it. And I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I love the character. I just never realized he had such a complex about it. But let me know what you think. Like I said, you can catch me on Twitter or Instagram under Super Deep Dive. You can leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube, or if you want to find it on YouTube and leave a comment. I do respond to most comments there. It's under Superhero Deep Dive. You can catch me via email at b4itall, yahoo.com. But I would definitely love to hear what you guys have to say about this, because he's definitely one of those people that, as much as I love him, I get annoyed with him too. Alright, but anyways, let's go into his powers. Now, Cannonball is a mutant who possesses the ability to generate thermochemical energy and release it from his skin. This energy is used as thrust to cause the body to be propelled through the air like a rocket, at great heights and speed with considerable maneuverability. He can control his speed and direction through sheer act of will. At first, he can only release his energy from his feet and legs, but now he can fire from almost any part of his body for a wide variety of effects. The energy also manifests itself as an impenetrable and virtually indestructible blast field that protects him from bodily harm. He can use this blast field for the following effects: to function as a personal shield or extending it to encompass others, to shape the field around another person to imprison them, or to absorb outside kinetic impact into his own energy supply, enabling him to increase the bludgeoning power of his blows, or to create explosive shockwaves upon impact. That's awesome. I love that he was able to gain control of his powers, and instead of using it as just like to be a human rocket, basically, he can now punch with that power, and he gets himself some kind of level of a simulated super strength. Now, his power levels have varied over the years, but at his peak, he has been able to absorb and redirect the force of one of Gladiator's punches, which is kind of one of Marvel's few versions of Superman. He also may be a member of the immortal mutant group, the Externals, due to his apparent ability to return to life after death, and his healing that happens almost instantaneously. It's very weird. It's not like Wolverine's healing factor where he just heals fast. This guy recovers almost immediately. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Some fun facts. Cannonball, along with his sister Paige, made an appearance in the X-Men episode's Hidden Agenda. In X-Men Evolution, he appeared infrequently as one of the New Mutants. Charlie Heaton was cast to portray Cannonball in the New Mutants. This version accidentally causes the mineshaft to collapse, which killed his father and his fellow miners. He spends much of the movie trying to control his powers, resulting in him being covered in bruises and nursing a broken arm. He is an exclusive hidden character in the X-Men Legends 2 Rise of Apocalypse video game for the PSP. His powers in the game revolve around his blast shield, in the form of rushing attacks, power punches, and shields. Cannonball is also an unlockable character in the Facebook game Marvel Avengers Alliance. And in the novelization of X-Men The Last Stand by Chris Claremont, he is introduced towards the end when Logan is given a class for new potential X-Men, including Gambit, Sage, and Danielle Moonstar. Now, Gambit and Danielle Moonstar have both been covered in Superhero Deep Dive. I encourage you to check them out because they are awesome. But those are some fun facts. Now, normally, around this time, I would do, like power expansions. Like, how can we expand on the character? Do they need a mini-series? Do they need a movie? Stuff like this. Instead of doing that for a while, and I may just do it for a few months and see how it goes, I'm just going to give it a good college try. I'm just going to do final thoughts on the character, because sometimes that'll encompass it. Sometimes I don't care if they have a movie or whatever. It's just there may be aspects to the character that I would love to see explored. And this is kind of one of those examples. Now, I've always had a soft spot for Cannonball in my heart. He's incredibly relatable, and he's got this thing where all he really wants to do is be a hero. Like, every time he went and took a break to be a father or spend time with his family, I'm going to go tend the farm, he comes back, he has to be a hero. Like, it's a psychological driver for him. At one point, he ended up looking to Cable as a father figure, and that was in the late days of late days of New Mutants, early days of X-Force. And I can kind of understand that, like Cable came in and he always had this air like he knew what he was doing. He always had a plan for stuff. He always seemed very much in charge. Sam's father died when he was young, so Sam has looked to Cable as a father figure, which kind of makes you wonder if that means he looked to Cyclops as a grandfather figure. Maybe, I don't know. But to me, I get it, and it's just he's just been a very human character with a pretty cool power set, especially with that blast field and being able to redirect it. Now, with that being said, I want to know why, and if there has, let me know, but I haven't seen it. How come there hasn't been anything written about his family? Like the Guthries, their clan, I guess. Their family. They have a bunch of mutants in there. There's 3 out of however many kids, and I want to say there's like 5 or 6 kids. But still, having 3 children, even if there's 6, like having 3 out, so having half of your children be mutants, and they were all considerable mutants. They're all pretty formidable with their abilities. There's got to say something. Like, could there be something special in their bloodline? Could it be their environment? Because there was always this talk about, is it evolution? Is it adaptation? Are they a product of their environment? What could be causing this? And these kids are from a coal mining family, so we don't know what all they've been exposed to, right? Like, it could be anything. So is there something special in their bloodline? And I think this really needs to be explored in something like maybe even a mini-series or graphic novel, like when I look at them, I look at Husk, who can literally shed her skin to be any element she wants underneath. Cannonball, he can fly, he's got a blast radius or blast field, and he can redirect that into explosive outward blast, and he can basically be immortal. And then you had Icarus, who had wings. I don't know their full power set. I may have to look it up. But you had it wasn't like continuous. Which is weird, because sometimes you'll see sibling mutants, and their powers are similar. They'll be similar, they'll play off each other, something like that. These seem totally different. So makes me wonder if there's something in their bloodline, if there's something that needs to be explored. Like, realistically, if I was Mr. Sinister, and I'm not, but I'm just saying, if I was, instead of focusing on Scott and Jean Grey, I would focus on the Guthrie family, because there's a lot of variation there, and maybe it's lazy writing, but with every bit of lazy writing, it can be changed into something that might benefit and be worthwhile later. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Send me an email. If you catch me on YouTube, I'm under Superhero Deep Dive. I post all the time. I love hearing your comments. I love reading them. Everything gets acknowledged, whether it's a like, whether we actually have a conversation about it. Everything gets acknowledged. Even if you're like, wow, this sucks. Like, I posted a video of One Punch Man artwork, and some people didn't like it, and it's fine. I still like the comment. As long as you're respectful, it's cool with me. Everything gets acknowledged. You can email me at b4itall, so b4itall@yahoo.com. And you can catch me on Twitter and Instagram under Super Deep Dive, and I use the hashtag Superhero Deep Dive. But I think that's gonna be it for me. I've got family stuff to take care of during this new year. In the meantime, guys, I hope everyone is blessed. I hope everyone's happy. I hope everyone is safe, and I hope everyone is smart. But if you're not smart, don't get caught. I will see you guys later. Take it easy. Bye-bye.